Om Vakratunda Mahakaya Suryakoti Smaprabha Nirvignam Kurumede Sarvakareshu Sarvada. I offer my obeisance to the divine in you. In a social system, everybody or most people have friends. Some people have true friends. Many have many friends. But doesn't necessarily mean that they are true friends. In an external world, it is not so hard to make out who are your friends or who your friends are. It is easy, when they help you when you're down, it seems like they are your friends. When you always have somebody who wants to listen to you, seems like you have a friend. When you have somebody who supports you, it would appear that he or she is your friend. When you have somebody who can help you when you need it, you may promptly call that person your friend. And who is your enemy? Those who don't want you to succeed, those who are working against you, those who want to pull you down, those who don't rejoice in your success. Friends foster and grow in a friendly or harmonious environment. Your enemies, your foes, automatically diminish in that environment. But you would only really know who your friend is when you are helped by them in the hour of your need. Because many claim they are your friends. Many utter many nice words to make you believe they are your friends. But if being in their company does not help you get further, if being in their company does not help you become stronger or a better human being, are they really your friends? So I ask you the question again. According to you, who is a friend? Someone who helps you unconditionally? Someone who supports you unconditionally? Or is he or she someone who is just always by your side? Someone who agrees with you always? Or somebody you can share anything and everything with? Or all of the above? Life can be beautiful when you have friends. But my topic today is not about the friends of the external world. My topic is friends, but different type. Do you know, even if you are living alone, in solitude, absolutely alone, and if you are even lonely, if you have no friends in the outside world, did you know that you actually have friends still? You're always surrounded by those friends. And they are truly noble friends. They are genuinely your true friends. Because your friends want to help you. They're always telling you the right thing. They are not there to make you happy. And they don't overpower you either. They just, like a good friend, offer you good advice and leave it up to you to take it up or reject it. I'm referring to the friends in you. These are called internal friends. But because from the point of view of duality, wherever you have a friend, you're also going to have an enemy. Imagine a world where everybody is your enemy and you have absolutely no friend. Then the concept of friend ceases to exist. You just have good enemies or bad enemies. Bad enemies or worse enemies. Duality is comparison. So if I have a friend, I must also have a flip side, and I'm calling that person my foe or my enemy. Because conditioned mind lives by duality and believes in duality and is a product of duality, therefore, it is only natural that when you have friends in you, you also have enemies in you. Just like in the outside world, you have friends and you have enemies. So, let's get to it now. So, who are your friends? Do you know who are your friends within you? There are many. But two of your most important friends, those friends that give you character, those friends that give you strength, those friends that create your identity, those friends who make you who you are, and those friends that make you what you are. Of course, being who you are and what you are is dependent on how much you listen to those friends. Because nobody can really force you to do anything unless you want to be forced, or unless you let yourself. So your two greatest friends. First, conscience. Your conscience is your greatest friend. Regardless of how difficult it is for you to be decisive in an unprecedented situation or in a difficult situation, regardless of how much you want to do wrong, your conscience will always offer you the right opinion. Your conscience is not there to make you happy. Your conscience, like a good friend, is always honest with you. When you want to do something questionable in your life, your conscience has a beautiful voice, and it always tells you whether you should or you should not do that thing. And everybody, at least once before they do anything wrong, listen to their conscience. At least hear it. Some listen to it. Many just ignore it. So whether you listen to your friend, your conscience, or not, that is entirely up to you. I just want you to know there's a friend in you. And that friend is called conscience. And it is always offering you the right opinion. Whenever you are in a fix and you don't know right from wrong, when the path is unclear, at that point in time, you have the choice to listen to your conscience. I am not on any social network online, but from what I know, you can connect with friends, and when you do that, you are connected then with their friends, and their friends, and their friends, and so on. So the type of friends you have, even though indirectly, decide the type of company you will keep. They decide the type of people you'll be surrounded with. All of that is dependent on your friends. If you hang out with addicts, chances are you would find yourself at places where drugs are supplied. If you hang out with devotees, chances are you're gonna be visiting temples more often than visiting brothels. So, your friends play a huge part, huge role in shaping you up. So if you can listen to your internal friends, you will find yourself becoming a better person with each passing moment. You will find yourself becoming more at peace. And I'm fundamentally referring to your two most important friends. First, conscience. Second, willpower. It is because of our willpower that man or human beings are today where they are. The race is what it is today. We have been able to go on to the moon, discover the mysteries of universe, not all, but many anyway. Discover the mysteries of minds. And all sorts of scientific and intellectual and spiritual feats have been crowned. Why? Because of relentless pursuits. Because of willpower. So your willpower pretty much creates you who you are. Whether you're going to drown in water or you're going to swim across. If you're going to be the loser or the winner. Before intelligence, intellect, and IQ comes willpower. When you have the willpower to do and to see your endeavors through, you will succeed one day. Have no doubts on that. It is not possible for anybody to fail their whole life. If you persist, if you have the will to keep going no matter what, you will one day succeed. The only separator for that person is time. So you need to recognize that if you listen to your conscience, which will then prompt you to do the right karma, the right thing, and you have strong willpower, and you stick to your plan, success will be yours. But these friends, fortunately, also have other friends. when you make friends with your conscience and willpower, their other friends also become your friends. Morality, truthfulness, peace, bliss, knowledge, joy, pleasure, success are friends of these two, and close friends at that. So if you don't part with your conscience and you don't forsake your will, you will have success, bliss and peace, all three, in the internal world as well as the external world. Because this is a projector, my friend, and this world outside is a movie. I am playing my own movie outside. My world is a creation of my own thoughts, my will, my desires, my karma. And I have the option to change the reel of my thoughts. Everything else will start to change. So, your friends, conscience and will. If you make them friends, everything else will be yours in a very quick, prompt manner. But to balance out and to gain a holistic perspective, you should also be aware of your enemies. Your psychic imprints, basically, since you've experienced the world as an external phenomena, all your joys have come from doing things externally. Whether that's food, sense gratification, copulation, music, anything. Something external happens and you have learned to derive joy from that. Because you've been doing it for years and years and ages and eons. For many lives and lifetimes. You have developed some internal enemies. They can be very strong, especially if you don't have your internal friends. Your internal friends don't overpower you, but your internal enemies can easily overtake you. So if you're friends with conscience and will, you'll also have morality, peace, bliss, truth, non-violence, and right karma. They all become your friends. If they all become your friends, your enemies cannot overpower you. Now the question is, who are your enemies? There are many. I am going to list the top 5 for you. Anger, greed, lust, ego, and attachment. These are your enemies. When you have any enemy, you pretty much have to either conquer them and make them your slaves, or leave them free but really distance yourself from them. If you are my enemy and you have a gun, if I have a bigger gun a better weapon, I don't have much to fear. Still, in that case, though, we could both end up dead. Or if I have a whole heap of friends, armed friends who are protecting me, I still don't have much to fear, and chances are I won't be killed. But both require an action to be taken from my side and your side to basically resolve it. However, let's go back to the scene again. You have a gun, and I'm sitting 10 kilometers away from you. Can you do anything? The only weapon you have is a gun, and you want to kill me, but I'm sitting far, far away from you. What can you do? So, with your internal enemies, you have the choice. You can try to fight with them, and you can win them only if you have the other friends. If you don't have morality, if you don't have peace, if you don't have conscience, if you don't have will, if you don't have the strength of character, if you don't have truthfulness, you cannot win over your enemies. Not possible. You will continue to have anger. You are going to continue to be driven by your lust. You're gonna have a tall ego. All these will continue to thrive in you. Your friends purify you. Your internal friends purify you. If you have done any research on cancer, there is something very well known about cancer cells, that they thrive in oxygen-free environments. Part of the body where there is no oxygen supply, which can be constrained because of stress and many other things. I'm not a doctor, I don't know. Your cancer cells start to grow very rapidly. And they're called cancerous because they're ultra healthy cells. They are growing at a pace faster than all the other cells in your body. So, when your internal system is not clean because it is deprived of oxygen, it is a good breeding ground for cancer cells. Similarly, when your internal friends are not there for you or with you, your internal system of mind is not clean. And it offers the perfect breeding ground for your enemies. Your 5 enemies, anger, greed, lust, attachment, and ego, they start to flourish like anything. They start to overtake your being. Soon your mind, your heart, your soul, your body, your intelligence, your intuition, your intellect, your karma, your actions, your reactions, your thoughts, everything, absolutely everything is then ruled by your enemies. They invade you. And because they've invaded you, you're no longer you. Imagine a country, a mighty emperor invading a small town, a small kingdom. The culture changes automatically with the arrival of the new king. Everything starts to change. So when you are invaded by your enemies, a slow but a mighty transformation for the worse starts to take place in you. And over time, you lose your identity, your strength, your character. Everything becomes conditioned. And you start to believe the way everybody else is believing. You start to live the way your enemies want you to live. Why? Because you've lost. You have lost your real you. The real you that was protected by your friends is now lost. Hard. Difficult. You are in deep trouble. If you're somebody who has anger, if you're somebody who finds himself or herself getting mad very frequently or losing it, if you get fried quickly, if you always find your ego coming before you, if you feel you cannot control your urges, or you have too much of them, and they're driving you mad, you need to start distancing yourself from your enemies first. Because if that is the case, you being invaded by your enemies, you are not ready to fight with them yet, and you are not ready to conquer them yet. The first thing is, you need to start distancing yourself. I'm gonna stay away from anger. Imagine one of your enemies lives in a certain area, and you know that he's out there to get you. You know that he's stronger than you. So you make it a point. You always remember that I'm not going to go in that area, lest I be killed. So you have to remember that I'm going to not be angry. I'm not going to get angry no matter what. And start with short-term goals over the next 20 days, 40 days, 50 days, or whatever. You have to stay away from all the other 4 or 5 as well that I talked about earlier. When you start to do that, and you start to become friends with your friends, call them back, Don't push them away. They're there to help you. Call conscience and will back. If you decide to not do something, if you decide to not smoke for the next 6 months, make sure you stick to it. Call your friends back in your system. In your internal social system, call them back. Call conscience and call will. And morality, success, peace, joy, bliss, everything, all the others will just follow. Build yourself, prepare yourself, get yourself ready to conquer your enemies afterwards. Don't try to fight with them just yet. Make sure you go out there on the battlefield fully armored. And the funny thing is, when your enemies are going to see you that well equipped and armored and supported, they're going to back out real fast. They're going to disappear. Just like darkness disappears as soon as light emerges. And then imagine a life. The only people you'll have around you will be your friends. A moral life, a truthful life, a life of non-violence, a life of joy, a life of bliss, a life full of happiness. Because all these, they don't thrive where your enemies are. All these hang out together. If you are holding the party of morality, all these come uninvited. If you are holding a party of your enemies, none of these will come. So it's something for you to think about. I think I have said enough on this topic. I don't want to drag it just for the sake of it. It is a concentrated pill. So ponder over the matter. Hear this a few times. Think about it. Analyze yourself. And work on your own self-assessment and self-discovery. So you can work towards your own self-realization. So you can be free from not just enemies but also friends. They'll always be there, ready, on call. But when you discover yourself, all these merge in you, and you become an embodiment of all these. You become the friend of the friends. That's all I have for you today. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hari Om Tat Sat Hari Om Tat Sat Hari Om Tat Sat.